Welcome to the Friends of Zeus podcast. This is episode, I'm getting this down, 96.
96?
96.
Wow, it's like we've been doing this for a while.
I have a question for you, Jeff, on that right after. You can find us on all the social media platforms. All of them. Fucking everyone. Rumble,
ones that haven't even been invented yet.
Tinder, Flender, all of them.
Flender, Spotted Poop.
Tonight, we're going to do a game show. This is Tom's little baby. This is actor, podcast host extraordinaire, Jeff Macolino.
World bon vivant.
And yeah, let's catch up, Jeff. So so you did a movie.
Yeah. Women Want Everything. It'll come out at some point in 2023. I just acted in it, so I don't know all the details yet. I'm sure I'll know more beforehand because I'm sure I'll be doing a media tour.
Are you like,
who else is in the movie?
I'm sorry?
Who else was in the movie? You cool? Well, you're cool, but...
Well, the other three leads are a gentleman named Rod Grant, who's been in actually a decent amount of things, Quintari Walker, and Christian Adrianson, I believe.
Christian Bale.
So probably not people you've heard of, but they've all got more experience than me, and we're the four leads. We're the four bumbling idiots in the movie.
How did you get found? Did like someone come up to you in a mall or like?
No.
Craigslist.
I wish I remember. I will tell you this. I found them. I don't know how. I know I was looking on the internet desperately trying to find. I'm like, I just want to act in something. I just want to give it a shot and see. And I found somehow this production company's website and found a casting thing that they had not even publicized yet. I emailed them. The director emailed me back and like, here you go. Here's the audition. Just video it, send it back. I sent it back. I didn't know what I was doing. I like duct taped a bed sheet behind me and had my daughter read the lines with me. I'm like, this is the worst thing he's ever going to see in his life. He called me and he's like, I'm going to send you another email with a couple of direction points and, just give me another, you got a callback edition. Give me another one over the next week. I did that. And now I learned the last day of shooting, the other guys were saying, how many people auditioned for this? And he's like, depends on which role. But Jeff's, I think he said I had more than 30 people audition.
Wow.
And I'm like, but I bet I was the first. And he's like, you were the first. You auditioned a month before we were ready to accept auditions. And we don't know how you found us, but we don't say no to people. And he said, this is what he said to me. He may be lying. He said, I set the bar so high with my audition, they were rejecting other people for lead roles because they could not act on camera with me. And I'm like,
yeah, good for you, man. Seriously, man. That's awesome. How cool is that?
It was very nice. I don't know if it's true.
But it's like a bucket list moment, big time.
No, seriously, man. I mean, that's awesome. That's
good
really
for
awesome.
you, man. Good for you. So, Tom, you ready to run the show?
Get this show on the road.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do it live.
We're doing it live.
Let's do it. Okay.
This is real paper.
Hey, I can compete with that.
Cell phone.
Tonight we're going to do a game. It's a game show episode of Friends of Zeus, which we all love these. We're going to do a game called 1 True 3. This game was created by Walt Flanagan from the Tell 'em Steve Dave podcast. Does anybody listen to Tell 'em Steve Dave other than me?
No, but I may now.
No.
I mean, maybe some other people, but not on this.
Well, I know what I meant. You guys.
I've never listened.
Sure. They're like one of the top rated podcasts. Yeah, check them out. Tell them Steve Dave. So special thanks to Walt Flanagan. I don't want to get any copyright dings for using the game, but I don't think they'll mind really. So let me quick go over the rules because I think sorry, Des, that Jeff was late into figuring out what was going on. So 1, true, 3. Basically, the concept is we each take turns telling 3 stories. Zeus. It's basically just like a sentence or an idea. 3 things, 3 wild or outlandish stories, and then the rest of us will ask questions to try and deduce which one of those 3 stories is true, because only one out of the 3 is true. Got it? So basically that's it. I'm going to go first, so you'll get an idea of how this goes. Now, we're keeping score tonight for the first time ever on Friends of Zeus. So,
Finally, I'm going to score.
So what'll happen is that's a good one. Wow. It's been a few weeks, but good joke finally. So
I didn't catch the joke.
you missed
I
it.
didn't either.
You gotta listen.
Joke.
Thank you very much, Tom.
I was reading my stories.
Most people miss Zeus's jokes. It's okay. So the scoring is going to go like this. So if you correctly guess which one of the stories is true, then you get a point. If for each of you that the storyteller fools, so if you guess wrong, the storyteller gets a point. So like if 2 of you guess correctly, you'll each get a point, and I might get 2 points on my turn if 2 of you guess
So
incorrectly.
you get up to 4 points
Now I'm the
round.
judge, the host, so I'll keep track of the score. Any disputes is I have final say. So hopefully I don't expect any disputes, but all right. Did I explain everything? Does that sound clear?
Yes.
All right. You
All right.
ready you want to hear some stories?
Let's hear
Yes.
some stories.
All right. So I'll go first, and then we're going to have Dez, Zeus, Mike, and then Jeff. We'll go in that order. And what I'm going to do, I changed the rules a little bit because Jack's not here. So we might have a few more minutes of time. So I'll tell the 3 stories, and I'm going to start a timer. You'll get 5 minutes to ask, well, up to 5 minutes to ask as many questions about those 3 stories to try and figure out which one is true and which ones are false. So
All
but
right.
if the 5-minute timer goes off, then we'll go one by one, what your choices are, which one you pick. All right. It'll come clear as we kind of go through, I think, if it's confusing. All right. So here's my 3 stories. Story number 1. I once shot one of my school teachers. Okay. Story number 2. I once robbed a bank. Story number 3. I once kicked an endangered species in the gut. Those are my 3 stories.
So can we ask questions?
Let me start the timer. No, let's.
I have a question.
We'll go one by one. Hang on. We'll
Do we
take
need to raise our
turns.
hand, or-
Each of you will ask one question, and we'll go around. I'll start the timer. So we'll start with Des. You get the first question.
What endangered animals are in Virginia?
Well, I didn't say it was in Virginia,
Oh,
but the endangered. It was a black-footed ferret. Was the animal?
Come on, man. Okay.
Okay.
ferrets are
Zeus.
cute.
No, just one question at a time.
What was your first one? Oh, you shot your teacher.
I once shot
What
one
did
of my
you-
school teachers.
What did you shoot her with?
Well, I didn't say it was a her, but
What did you
it,
with?
it was a bow and arrow.
Mhm.
Mike,
So what bank did you rob?
Citizens Bank. Jeff,
Were you facing criminal charges for any of these situations? We'll say for the one that was true.
you would think so. No, I got away with whatever. I didn't face criminal charges. Let's just put it that way. Des, back to you.
I don't know if I have
Or
any
you
more
can
questions.
kind of like pass or
How if you did kick a black-footed ferret, how did said ferret get under your feet, or did you drop kick it?
we were at Busch Gardens, Florida, not Virginia, So Busch Gardens, Florida. You know how they do those little animal, like on the side, they'll have the little area where they'll bring out an animal at certain times of day, and then you stop by and you can visit, sometimes pet the animal, and the trainer
Like
will
a
tell
petting zoo.
you facts and whatever.
Mhm.
So the lady brought out what I now know as a black-footed ferret. I didn't know before. I just thought it was a regular ferret, but she brought out this ferret. What was your question? Did that answer your question?
Did it get like under your feet? Like, did it run in front of you? Or did
Yeah,
you just
so she
drop
had
kick
it like she was holding it at first, and it had like a little leash thing around its neck with the leash, and it got down from her, and it came over. So it got down from the trainer, and it we were sitting like in the front row with me and my daughter and Daniel and Michael and my wife. And it came over towards my daughter, Anna, and she screamed. It like got down, and I like started walking, and I kind of took my foot, and I just kind of like, I was trying to like kind of push it away.
Yeah.
But I ended up kind of like kicking it in the belly. And it turned out to be a black-footed ferret, which is an endangered species. Okay. Zeus.
So when you shot your teacher with the bow and arrow, was this in archery like class? Was this
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
organic
it was in PE class, and we were doing archery.
Okay.
Mike.
Oh, we have 2 questions.
Well, you still got a minute. I mean, if you guys are done, just let me know. But you
What
got a
happened to
minute.
the ferret after you kicked it?
It was okay. I mean, the trainer kind of gave me like a stern look, you know. I don't think she was too happy that I kind of kicked this endangered species in the stomach. But I mean, it was fine, I think. I was just trying to get it away from us. I didn't know if it was going to bite my daughter.
So I think, do we each take a guess?
Well, Jeff, do you have another question?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you have to answer this quickly. What was the name of the teacher you shot?
Oh.
Mr. Morbetto, PE teacher. All right. So let's go. It sounds like you guys are ready. Do you want to? We'll go in order. So one by one.
Do we have
your guesses?
One more question?
No, 2 questions per person.
Okay, never mind.
Well,
okay.
no, I changed it to like a 5-minute thing, but there's 20 seconds left.
Where did you shoot the teacher? What part of his body?
Like on the front, like the shin, sort of.
Okay.
Okay. What city is Busch Gardens, Florida in?
Orlando.
Oh,
Is
it's
that
in
not right?
Tampa.
Okay, whatever. That's not.
You're talking
have
about
that
St.
wrong.
Pete residents.
Could have that wrong.
Okay.
Good question.
That's not a fair question. Okay. Anyway, time's up. We're gonna go to the guessing. Des.
All right.
So is it true that I once shot one of my school teachers, that I robbed a bank, or that I kicked an endangered species in the gut?
Do we go around?
Des, yeah, one by one. Des first.
I don't know. 3. The ferret.
Okay. Zeus.
I'm going with he shot his teacher.
Mike.
I'm going with kicking the ferret.
Ooh, ferret. Jeff.
My last second question changed my mind because you should know you were in Tampa, not Orlando.
I kind of agree, but at the same
shot,
time, I don't know.
shot
what
the
these are.
teacher, number 1.
Okay. Cheese, cheddar, well done.
Wow, I didn't think I was going to fool you guys with this.
I'll put
The true story is that I once robbed a bank.
What?
Okay. You probably just drove off with someone else's deposit.
No. You guys didn't ask enough questions.
Okay, you gotta explain.
I'll explain. So yeah, the shooting the school teacher, that was made up.
Did you steal a pen from the bank?
The endangered species. I've been to Busch Gardens. Trust me, I don't know what's the town it's in. So robbing the bank, I was probably about 10 years old. It was Citizens Bank. I don't know who asked that question. You guys should have asked more on that. in our neighborhood, we had this bank like right at the end of the street. We used to go down there and play around the bank all the time. And they had these drive-throughs, the old style, where the teller would kind of like push the little drawer and it would pop out on the other side. And when the bank was closed, we figured out that we could kind of pull down that little window and put our arms in and grab stuff. And
That's awesome.
I did, and there was like envelopes, and I remember stealing. I like took some staplers, some what do you call them? The paper clips, some little envelopes, and we did it a couple of times. We kept going back and getting like more like office supplies out of there. And then eventually they knew where somebody was doing something, because they put these little 2x4 boards to like block the little window drawer so that nobody could pull it
cameras.
open. So that was it. It
But
was like I was at 10 years old. We stole office supplies from the bank. Well, I did anyway. So
Did you
a
graduate to
bank
vending
robber.
machines?
Say that again.
Did you ever graduate to vending machines?
I've never been able to successfully put my arm up into a vending machine. I
Oh,
should try that. Maybe I'm not skinny enough.
I didn't know it was possible, but my respect for you has grown, Tom.
So that's it. Wow.
I didn't know it was possible.
You still have a lot of room with me, though.
I never knew a bank robber before.
Okay, so I get 4 points. All of you have 0.
He ordered something.
Next up is Des. Are you ready to go, Des?
Mhm.
All
my
right.
stories sentences are a little bit longer. They're probably run-on sentences.
Okay.
But okay, are you ready?
Yeah.
When I went to Istanbul, I thought it would be funny to order a turkey sandwich at every restaurant we went to. Number 2.
Love it. Love it.
Number 2. I got free tickets to the inauguration of Donald Trump and didn't go because it was supposed to be cold and windy that day. 3. I thought that it would be a good idea to go to the Louvre after a boozy Paris lunch, but I got lost inside and started crying because I thought I was going to be locked in there overnight.
Did you say drunk and crying?
Yeah, I got drunk and then was crying because I
Here's
thought I was going to be locked in there.
One
In the
sentence,
Louvre.
really.
Okay.
It's
All
two.
right. Zeus, first question.
I see. I already think I know the answer. What was your second one? Just a brief synopsis.
The tickets to the inauguration of Donald Trump, I didn't go because it was going to be cold and
Okay.
windy.
Was it cold and windy?
Yeah. I already. You know what? I'm gonna pass. I already know which one I'm going with.
Okay, that's
Okay.
good strategy, because the
next?
questions would only help the rest of us. Mike, do you have a question?
What bread did you order your turkey sandwiches with?
I never got to there was never any turkey sandwiches to be ordered, so there was never any like chance for them to ask me what bread. So I don't know. I never got a Turkish turkey sandwich.
That's all I need to know. Thank you.
Okay, why were you in Turkey?
We went there. I was in the Middle East going to Kuwait, and so we had like a 26-hour layover there, and so we kind of just got off and did things around the city.
Cheers in Turkey is
That is hilarious.
It's so dead.
Jeff?
I mean,
Who offered you free tickets to the inauguration?
I got them from a connection that I have to the presidential campaign.
yes.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Yep.
Mike?
Mike, your question.
Oh, it's my question?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but no, unless Zeus wants to chime
So
in.
I would say.
Wait, did Tom ask a question?
Yeah, I
How
asked you
long was
why
the
you were
flight
in
to
Turkey.
Paris?
Oh, okay.
How long was the flight to Paris?
Really long. It was like 26 hours to get over there, and when you landed in Europe or in London, and then
Yeah.
like it was like 3 hours from London.
Continue. All right. All right.
Alright.
No, that's cool. And I'll just
Yeah,
ask
how-
questions.
Who was your connection to the Trump tickets? He says already.
A person that is close to me. The secret.
I know what it is.
I do
Tom,
too.
I'd like to guess.
Well, wait a minute. I'm not ready.
Oh.
Okay, so how did you come to be drunk and crying in the Louvre? Can you explain that?
So we went to lunch and we had it was like wine and cheese and bread and stuff by the river. It was not really a river. It was like, I don't know. Anyway, so it was like a picnic lunch. And then so I had a little bit too much champagne. And so we were going to go to the Louvre that day. So I went to the Louvre, but I also had lots of champagne. And so I just, I saw the Mona Lisa and I started crying. I don't know why. And I got lost. There's lots of people around, crowded around that area. And so, yeah. I didn't want to be locked in there. I kept thinking of the movie National Treasure.
Yeah.
Where they get locked in the movie or into the museum overnight. And I didn't want that to happen to me.
That's fun. That's when all the characters come to life.
I think that was Night.
Yeah,
in the
I know.
Museum,
No.
wasn't it?
Oh, is that what it is? It's not, whatever. I don't know what movies are. But you know what movie I'm talking about.
Hey, Jeff, you got another question?
Seriously. I think this is my favorite episode. I think it's my favorite episode.
When you got lost in the Louvre, what was your strategy to just roam around, try to find the exit, or did you get drunk crying and
No, my strategy was just sit there and cry drunkly and be in a corner and not realize that I have powers to walk around and find an exit.
Sounds like a drunk person.
Yeah, I'm struggling with this. So the Trump thing, so you didn't go just because you thought it was cold?
So I was gonna go, except for 2 weeks before that, I checked the weather and it was gonna be cold and windy, and I'm not about cold or windy, so I realized it was a stupid choice, but okay, yeah, I know, and I'm not about it.
You realize you live in Kansas. So.
Yeah, just really, but it's colder in DC. It's norther than Kansas.
It's norther.
Okay.
Norther. All right, anybody else got any? We got 10 seconds.
I'm ready to guess.
What airline did you fly to France with?
I flew all the airlines. I think we flew over there on United. And then I took, on the way back, I had an American flight. But there, from London to Paris, I don't know. I think it was United. It was some American airline. We only took one, European airline when we were out there.
All right. I think I got it. I'm ready. So let's go
I'm
around
definitely
the
ready.
horn. We'll start with Zeus. What is your guess? And don't
Trump.
say right or wrong, Des. Just wait till we all do our guesses first.
I'm going with the Trump.
Okay, Mike?
Number 2, Trump.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, Trump. Jeff, what's your guess?
I'd like to be different, but I think that's the answer too.
And before you say anything, Des, the reason that I feel the other two are bullshit, well, the turkey sandwich, I can totally buy you doing that because you're funny as shit, but I just don't buy it. And then you crying about anything, I don't buy it at all.
That's a good point.
You're too badass to cry. So it's got to be Trump. And plus, I know a little bit about your connection.
Yeah, so I guess I didn't fool you guys. I forgot that I maybe had mentioned that in the past.
Yeah.
No, I didn't know. Well. I was struggling with this one. But I thought going to Paris is not rednecky enough for you. And I thought for Turkey.
What are you implying, Tom?
Turkey. Because you're going to Kuwait. So is this a military thing?
No. So my sisters, both of them lived in Kuwait. And they had civilian contracts out there. And so one of my sisters had moved back to the States, and then a year or so after that, my other one was going to move back. So my other sister that had already been back and me went over there to help my sister, and then we were going to take her daughter back while she did her stuff up. So we took a little European vacation.
I thought I crossed out Turkey because I thought that because I know our military. I don't think our military goes into Turkey because they're not one of our. I mean, they're friendly with us, but I don't think they let us use their airports or whatever. So that's why I might have guessed that one if I had. If you had explained a little bit more.
In Turkey? What? I think the connector from Paris. Okay. So we went to Prague while we were there. That's how we ended up in Turkey. So we went to Prague to Kuwait. The connector was in Turkey.
All right.
Now, I will bet that you did ask for a turkey sandwich at least once while you were there.
All right. So the
I
score,
didn't actually.
the score, I've got 5 points now. Zeus, Mike, and Jeff have 1 point each. Des, sorry, you're goose egg
whatever.
right now.
Do you want me to
There's
share
still
like
time.
the? Do
Don't
you want me
give
to
up.
share how I have the connection for
We don't
Jeff
get
over here?
points to rednecks.
Do you?
First of all, that's like
Well, that's
probably
very
not
rednecky.
politically correct,
That is
but and I
inappropriate.
have been to Paris.
Oh,
I know.
okay.
Y'all.
Yeah, but this is the true story about that. We did the Louvre in 2 hours. We
Yeah.
just went through that whole thing. We're like, fuck this museum.
Show me
and these
Mona
people.
Lisa, I'm
So
out.
The Mona Lisa was bullshit.
That's what I would
We
do.
took a bunch. There's me and my 2 sisters, and so we but there was all these like statues, so we mimicked what the statues were doing and took pictures.
That's very
and
rednecky to go through there in 2 hours.
Country.
Let's see if I would have did the
Country.
same thing though.
country.
We're trying to.
But
on the show,
my
Tom.
husband was the Donald Trump for Kansas campaign president, so that's how we got tickets.
Yeah, I knew that. That's why I leaned towards that one.
Okay,
Plus,
so
you don't want to go camping with us because it might be too cold. Was another.
Yeah, I
kind
also
of-
thought about that. That was a really bad one. I shouldn't have used that one.
It's fine. It's fine.
That was true.
So, yeah, the Trump was true.
Trump is true.
Who's next?
All right, Zeus, you're up.
All right. So I did mine more in a story fashion, so just bear with me. My first story is I was walking out of a Gap store one time and a guy comes running past me with like a bundle of like shirts and jackets and everything. And shoves me
Shirts?
into one of the shirts.
Oh,
Shirts. Shirts and jackets. He shoves me into one of
Bundle
those
of shirts. Go ahead.
carrying shards like this. And he shoves me into one of those metal detectors, and I kind of cut my hand on like a piece of metal that was sticking out. And you know, me being the bold hero guy that's always running towards the fire, I take off after the guy, and I catch up to him, and he turns on me and pulls out what was obviously like a cap gun, like literally like the red pieces of paper cap gun. And then he just smiles and takes off, and I just let him go because obviously he needed the shit more than me.
Wow.
My second story, so I'm like 21 or 22. I just moved back to Florida from Virginia, and I meet my sister's best friend, who I knew before, but she was like a kid. And we hit it off like immediately. Like an hour after meeting her, I'm like playing with her boobs and stuff. Like we hit it off. And about a week later, I'm on the couch in my parents' living room, and we're making out, and she starts providing oral favors, and I hear this noise behind me, and it's clearly my mom going, and then turns back and closes the door. So the next day, my dad's like, hey, come in here, I need to talk to you. And he's like, was Charlotte giving you a blowjob last night?
Don't
and I'm
look
like,
at me.
and I'm like, yeah. And he goes, did she finish? I'm like, yeah. And he goes, that's my boy. And then he tells me to go and pretend like he just tore me a new one for my mom.
100%. That is the true story.
Hold on, you haven't heard the third one.
I don't want to.
So I was once at a work party. All mine are sex related, by the way. I was at a work party. I worked for this company called the Smith Company. If Jack was here, he used to work with me there. Anyway, me and one of the other guys there, we kind of pre-gamed before the work party, like got kind of blasted. And I go up to one of our directors, and we're pretty close. Like we've hung out and done all this other stuff. And for some reason, I'm like grinding with her and kissing her neck. And she acts like nothing happened at the time, and then slips me her room key after the party, and we kind of hook up. And the funny thing is, I wasn't attracted to her at all. And it was like the talk of the office for the entire time that I was there. So there's my stories.
I think it's
Wow.
number 2.
Well, you don't
Wait,
scream
Don't guess.
Oh,
yet.
I'm not supposed to guess yet.
No.
It's not about which one you want to be true.
Oh,
All right, so we're gonna
Shots
let's go
fired.
around. Let's ask some questions. We'll start with Jeff this time. Do you have a question?
Goodness.
a lot of questions.
How long did it take you to nut after you heard your mom reacting to your blowjob?
Bye, Jeff.
The standard amount of time. I was like 21 or 22, so I really didn't give a fuck if my mom heard me and walked back in the room. I was like, I'm getting this done. So yeah, average amount of time.
Des, do you have a question?
How many shirts do you think that homie had?
Oh my God, he probably
Like, was it
had,
a stack or like, was it like just a
like,
few?
I don't even know how he was running with all this shit, much less how he pulled out a, like, right out of the 50s cap gun, the red piece of paper coming out, pap, 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 a shitload. Enough that, like, it was actually like the clothes that pushed me into the metal detector. You know, those things that are like by the doors. And like I said, I cut my hand and I was pissed. So I took off after him, and then he just turns around and points the cap gun at me. I'm like, immediately, I'm like, whoa. And then I saw the caps and I was like, well.
So the reason you went out, the more reason you went after him is because you cut your hand, not because he was stealing shit.
Little column A, little column B. You know, I mean, you've talked to me enough about my nursing. I run to the fire. So like I'm always like trying to, you know, be the hero. Much to my chagrin in most cases, but yeah, it was a little column A, little column B.
Let me ask you. So the work party, what was the situation there? What was it? What was the occasion?
Oh, it's a Christmas party, like end of year holiday party, at a really nice hotel in DC. Or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't a hotel. It was in the in the party room of an apartment building. Really, really nice looking place. It kind of reminded me like the Shining, like how that looks, like all, you know, beautiful molding and wood floors and all that.
Mike, you got a question?
So, let me think here for a second. So, when your dad had a comment, what was your reaction?
I literally, like, he's like, was Charlotte, her name was Charlotte. She's passed away, so we don't have to worry about any lawsuits. And she was Candy's best friend. You guys,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was like, "Were you getting?" I mean, like I said, he was like, "Were you getting a blowjob from Charlotte?" And I'm like, "Yeah,
okay."
Yeah. My dad taught me very young not to lie because I'm gonna suffer for it.
All right.
But yeah, so I just responded appropriately.
That's the only question I would like to ask.
Des? Oh, sorry. I think Jeff, it's your turn. Do you have another question?
What was the name of the coworker you hooked up with?
Maria Hardaway McDowell.
Wow, that's pretty specific.
McDowell,
McDowell, like
McDowell's.
Roddy's
not like random Elizabeth Randomi.
Was that like a married name? Hardaway McDowell? Sorry, that's a follow-up.
Honestly, I was drunk and like 21 or 22. I didn't care if she was married, so I don't really remember if she was married.
Dude, I'm so conflicted. I have no idea what's going on.
Des, you got another
Oh, is it still my question?
Yeah.
I'm totally confused.
We got 40 seconds.
At what point in the party was this sneak away hookup?
Oh no, it wasn't a sneak away. She gave at the end of the party. She was like, "Coming up and see me sometime," and I was like, "All right." She was not a very attractive woman at all. But
So it was the end.
Yeah, it was just, you know, means to an end.
Mm.
And so the story number 2. So the next time you came face to face with your mom, what happened?
I was like, "I'm really sorry, Mom. You know, you shouldn't have to see that." Dad expressed his displeasure with what happened, and you know, I mean, she was pretty cool. My mom's. You guys have also met my mom.
Yeah, she's been on the podcast.
Yeah. She's pretty hippy dippy still.
All
But
right, time is up. So is it the Gap store shirts cap gun thief? Is it the Florida best friends BJ with the mom walking in, or is it the work party grinding, getting a room key? Jeff, we're gonna start with you.
I gotta go with number 2, the blowjob.
All right. Des, what is your guess?
I'm also going to go with number 2. The
My
blowing.
guess is number 2 as well. Mike. 2. Okay. All right. Did you fool us?
you all
Zeus,
got a
or
point.
what? You all got a point.
What I want to know is how did you guys guess that?
The way you told it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you're so proud of it. You were so
And
proud.
all of them are like were based in like true stories
Right.
up till like I never hooked up with the boss, and I did chase after a guy, but he didn't pull up a cap gun. Yeah, I mean like
Yeah,
so,
you gotta. Yeah, it's gotta be a
so
little bit of
I'm
truth.
actually I still think it just means that you guys think I'm a cretin, but so be it.
No, that's
Yeah.
cool. That's awesome. I'm just.
Did
glad
you know that from the beginning, Mike? I mean,
He said his first thing he said
the
was
first
it's
thing
two.
I said. It has to be that. I know Zeus. I was like, that has to be the answer. I don't know why.
Because I'm a cretin.
It's just gut feeling.
yeah, he was just the way he was telling it.
But it was funny. My dad was like, "Did you really get a?" And I was like,
I gotta
"Yeah."
go with my gut.
And he's like, "That's my boy."
Yeah.
When I said when you said, "Did she finish?" and I'm like, "Yeah."
And plus,
Why
how
would he ask you that?
no one makes up a story with their dad being like, "I'm so glad you're getting a blowjob." Like, who makes that?
Well,
up?
my dad thought I was gay for like.
But what I'm
ever.
saying is, who makes that story up?
He
Like,
was
no
so
one's-
happy it was a
no
girl.
one's gonna be like, "Oh, my dad was happy about getting a blow." Oh no, that was the fake story. I just made that up myself. Like, no one just makes that up.
Nobody makes up any of them.
All
Right?
right. Coming up is Mike. So looking at the scoreboard, Tom has 6. Mike and Jeff have 2 points each. Des and Zeus have 1 point each. Wah, wah. All right. Michael Motorcycle. Are you ready?
I'm up.
You're up.
All right, here we
Which
go.
one?
Here we go. My buddy Vincent was related to John Hinckley Jr., who tried to kill Reagan. Number 2, when I was in kindergarten, I had a crush on a girl whose older sister ended up posing in Playboy as a centerfold model.
Oh.
Number 3, I once had to jump out of a 1962 Czechoslovakian glider over the mountains in Southwest Virginia.
Well, I've eliminated.
You want me to read them again? Everyone get
Yeah.
that?
Well, can you read the first one more time?
Okay. My buddy Vincent was related to John Hinckley Jr., who tried to kill Reagan.
Gotcha.
Number 2 was when I was in kindergarten, I had a crush on a girl whose older sister ended up posing in Playboy as a centerfold model. And number 3 was I once had to jump out of a 1962 Czechoslovakian glider over the mountains in Southwest Virginia.
Number 3 is.
You can't even get through that with a straight face. There's no way that's true.
I will
Why's
say,
that turn out to be
let
the
me
truth?
just say something. Let me just say something. Not all 3 of these are true, but all 3 of these are kind of true.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
I
that's
think
the
that's
best way
it's
to
a
do
theory,
it.
yeah.
Have a hint of truth in there.
Yeah.
Let me ask first. So let
It's
me
on the
start my
tarmac.
timer. What?
I said it was on the tarmac.
When he jumped out.
He jumped like 3 feet.
I said, well, over the mountains of Southwest. Okay.
And he was drunk and crying on champagne.
French champagne.
Can somebody get me out of this plane?
They threw him off.
The fact that I have the year of the glider and the make is pretty.
Do you have the year of the glider? Or
Yeah,
you made up some bullshit years and bullshit gliders? Tell me about the crush on the girl. So explain that to us.
So the girl, when I was in kindergarten, the girl I had a crush on, her name was Paula, and her older sister years later ended up being the centerfold in Playboy.
Kindergarten, so many years later.
Not like one of the extra chicks.
No, the center, like the feature.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Jeff, question.
It's probably a stupid question. Were you skydiving? My number 3, obviously.
Oh, that's a brilliant question.
No, it was I had an actual pilot behind me, and we were being towed by a 1982 Buick Skylark. But no, I mean, not when we launched, but
in the air, like chitty chitty bang bang, like flying.
Did you break down?
I think Buick Skylark's fine.
It is it's a Skylark. Yeah.
But when you're in the glider, like I'm sitting there and I'm all like crunched in, and all the instruments are like a language I don't know, and we were being towed by.
What's a glider? Maybe we should start there.
There's this big yellow T-bar, and like once we got up to a certain height, the guy behind me, who was the experienced pilot, he was like, pull it, and I had to pull it, and we let go of the plane. But we had some issues, and because it was an old glider at the time, and we had to like jump out, and I had a parachute. Just saying.
Hey, Tom,
I was in college.
Tom, I want you to screen cap Mike going like this and like that, if you could.
Okay,
so that
Zeus, question.
Oh no, I'm good.
What was the second one?
The girl post centerfold.
Well, the first one was my buddy Vincent was related to John Hinckley Jr.
Oh, how well? So is he from New York?
So no, Vincent was he was first or second generation Italian.
Mm-hmm.
And
Vinny.
His aunt's son was John Hinckley Jr. So he was, what's that? A cousin,
like a second cousin. Yeah. Okay.
All right. And how did you find out about the relationship with between Vincent and Hinckley?
We knew it at the time because when they were like having the trial of Hinckley, actually I went to Vincent's house. I mean, we were good buddies, and he had a BB gun, and we set it up in his backyard, and we were shooting this squash, and we were just taking turns.
Did you put like a black wig on?
No.
Like,
we were shooting squash, and we were literally listening to the radio while they were like.
Most people shoot like beer cans, birds.
A lot of people
squash.
It was like the first time that someone was found not guilty by reason of insanity.
And did you use like a banana to simulate James Brady getting in front of the squash?
No, we were just shooting the squash. We shot it like 7,000 times until it was just like mush. But when it came out on the radio, it was a big news thing at the time. I don't know if Desiree remembers this, but anyway, it was a big deal at the time. But no one knew, like, not guilty by reason of insanity. That was like no one had ever heard of that before.
That's my world, baby.
Yep.
Jeff, question.
Hey, can I say one thing for the record? This was before I was born too, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
Jeff, I'm sorry.
Yeah, also me, but I didn't want to make y'all feel bad. So, of course,
well, he said except for you.
I don't know who Reagan is.
What was the name of the centerfold model?
So her last name, man, I feel bad saying this on a podcast.
I mean, she was naked in Playboy.
She was,
her last name was Polshock.
Polshock. Is that Czech?
Polish.
I'm just glider connection. Okay. Time's up. So we got to make some guesses here. This is kind of tough.
I tried to make it tough, man.
As much as I thought the glider was kind of ridiculous, it could be true.
Here's the creepy part. All three of these stories have some truth to them.
Yeah, that's what makes it tough.
Ask me questions.
I think
Listen,
I'm going to go for, I think it's and don't say right or wrong, Mike. Wait till we all do our guesses.
I know.
I'm going to guess the Hinckley thing. That's my guess. Des, what is your guess?
I'm probably wrong, but I'm gonna go with the Hinckley thing too, because the fucking squash.
Don't follow me. I don't know what I'm talking
What?
about.
The what? What'd you say?
Squash.
Because y'all were shooting squash.
It's James Brady's.
If you made that up, that's like the most random thing that you ever fucking said. Okay, I have to go get my computer charger. I'll be right back. Intermission for me. I already guessed.
Okay,
Yeah.
Jeff,
Cool.
what do you think it is?
I'm going with jumping out of a plane. I'm going number 3.
No way. Czech glider?
Someone has to.
1960.
I like the detail of the Czech glider.
Yeah.
Like it's the little details that make them hard. And I think we all did a very good job of like throwing in those little pieces. But I'm going Hinckley all the way.
Okay.
Hinckley. All right. How do we do, Mike?
All right. So when I was in college, I did pilot a 1962 Czechoslovakian glider over the mountains of Southwest Virginia, but I did not jump out of one.
Oh.
We would have heard it.
I did have a buddy, Vincent, and he was related to a lot of people, but not John Hinckley Jr.
No.
Oh,
But I did have a crush on a girl named Paula when I was in grade school, and her sister did pose in the late 80s as a centerfold in Playboy.
I thought that name was so made up.
So did I. That's what convinced. I mean, I thought
That's what ruled that out.
No, you can look it up. Last name is Polshot.
I had a Playboy centerfold on my podcast.
Wow.
Well, yeah, but
Not-
Mike
not
knowing,
Polshot.
Mike knowing names of Playboy centerfolds doesn't convince me of anything. He probably knows like 24 names of Playboy centerfolds.
That's the only one I know. So did I get some points for that, Tom?
So yes, you've tied me for the lead now.
All right.
Mike
man.
has 6 points. I've
That's
got
the
6.
easy one. My next one
Jeff is in 3rd place with 2.
gonna be hard.
Des and Zeus still have 1 point.
I should rightfully finish last place in this game. I'm just going to say.
You're not in last place. You're
Well,
doing
not
all
yet.
right. You're good at deducing other people's BS.
Well, I'm not going to give away a clue, but I am going to give away a clue. No, I'll
Which one
give it
was
away
true?
after
Which one was
this.
true?
You're coming up.
There's a pattern that everyone has had thus far.
Which one was true?
It was the centerfold, right?
Damn.
Yeah.
It's centerfold.
So he got 4 points. All of us guessed incorrectly. So Mike is
did,
tied for the lead with 6
Did
points.
you just make that
Liar.
squash thing up? Or did y'all
You know
used
what?
to shoot squash?
I thought I hit.
Not
You
gonna
mentioned
believe
Hinckley,
anything from you
Mike.
anymore.
You mentioned
I
Hinckley
did
before,
not.
didn't you? And I thought you had a connection there.
I did do that,
Okay.
and I did have a buddy Vincent, but he wasn't related to John Hinckley.
Damn
All
it.
right. So we're going
I
to
would
hand the
sure
floor. Are you ready, Jeff? Or you need more time to concoct some stories?
No, we're gonna go with this slop I've got written down.
All right. One true 3. Jeff Macolino.
Okay.
All right.
All
What
right.
are your stories, Jeff?
Number 1, I completed an ultra marathon without training.
That's
Number
bullshit.
2. Number 2,
Sorry.
I once peed on Steve Spurrier. His shoes. His shoes. And number 3, the first time I did cocaine was with LL Cool J.
The first time,
All right.
LL Cool J. You know what LL? Okay,
Ladies
Wow.
love Cool J.
I didn't
Those
even
are
know
some
that.
good stories.
Those are really good.
Yeah,
actually.
that's fantastic.
Let's
All
start
right,
with.
I love
Let me start my timer. We got 5 minutes of questions. We're gonna start with you, Zeus.
What was the first one again?
Ultra marathon.
Okay. Yeah, that one's bullshit. I'm gonna go with. Then it was Steve Spurrier, and what was the other one?
LL Cool J.
Shockingly, how did you become intermingled in LL's group of people?
I wasn't really intermingled. I worked for the Tampa Bay Rays when I was in college, and he was doing a concert after the game, and we were driving him up to the stage, and one of the people in the posse just dumped a bunch of cocaine like in the center, and you know, who's going to say no to that?
Well, that was cool too.
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, you got a question?
What was LO wearing?
Oh, Jesus. I honestly could not tell you. I think he was wearing jeans, and he wears a backwards hat, I think, all the time.
Okay.
But yeah, I wasn't looking at his clothes. I was looking at this white powdery stuff.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And tell me, Jeff, with Steve Spurrier peeing on his shoes, how did that come about?
I was at a USF bowl game at Raymond James. His son was on the coaching staff. Me and my buddy kind of got into the private suites bathrooms. I knew how to get in there, and there was a guy in the middle urinal, so we took the wings and we were talking, and I may have been a little bit intoxicated and kind of turned, and
that's believable.
Yeah, he left the urinal very upset, and we didn't really realize who it was, and then we walked out and he was talking to people, and I'm like, oh, the old ball coach, and he took off running away.
That's hilarious.
Okay.
Good one.
He didn't want me to pee again.
Des, do you have a question?
When you say that somebody in the posse dumped a bunch of cocaine out on the table, like, you mean dumped it out like mountain style, or like took a bunch of bags and threw them on the table?
It was, so we were in a Hummer, and there was a sizable center console, so you just kind of dumped a bag, more mountain style, I guess, but they drew up lines, passed around a straw, So the pour out was mountain style. I think that answers the question.
So you shared a straw. What went into LL Cool J's nose also went into your nose?
I have another question.
Yes, Zeus. Yes.
Okay.
I have a question.
Okay, Mike, go.
What brand of shoes did you wear for the marathon?
Tesla.
Okay, that's not true. All right, we got
Tesla makes shoes.
Yes, they do.
Tesla shoes. All right, that's cool.
They make shoes and socks and boxer briefs.
Okay, so we got it. Yeah, we got a 50-50 now.
I was also 255 pounds.
What? 255?
I weigh more than that now, actually.
All right. I'm ready.
Finish the ultra marathon?
Yeah, for the ultra marathon. I was thinner when I did coke with LL Cool J.
What is an ultra marathon?
I'm ready to solve the puzzle.
Oh, wait, I got a question.
Okay, wait a minute.
Wait, here, Tom's question.
Wait, Tom.
Tom's asking.
Zeus. Oh, who does it go?
Tom, are you asking a question?
No. I thought Zeus was going to go next.
Yeah, I do. I know what a half marathon is. I know what a normal marathon is. What is an ultra marathon?
It's over 26.2 miles, and they let people basically run for exhaustion.
No. You can stop.
Tesla shoes.
I just wanted
Tesla shoes.
I just wanted to hear his extended
It's definitely not number one. It's definitely not number one. Come on.
We got
Really?
15 seconds. Des, you got another
Did
question?
you win or did you finish?
Oh, I completed it. I
Okay.
finished it. Yes, I did not win. The guy who won ran like 58 miles.
Wait, who finished the Coke? You or LL Cool J?
The Coke was not finished. Not when I was in the vehicle.
Number 2.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Time is up.
LL
Gonna
Cool
go
J
around.
doesn't-
Okay, so don't say anything, Jeff, until we get all the votes in. But
Nope.
Mike, we'll start with you. What's your guess?
Number 2.
Which was
Steve Spurrier.
Zeus, what is your guess?
God damn.
I know. 100%, dude.
100%. Jeff is want to find himself amongst interesting company. They're both interesting.
I know.
But he was at USF before he came to DC and fucking ruined the Redskins. Shit.
Spurrier, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Spurrier. But I really want to believe that LL Cool J was true.
I know, I do too.
Des, what is your guess?
I want to believe it. I want to believe, man.
Right?
I don't know. 2.
2. That is my pick as well.
I think
because
also I'm torn between number 1, so I might be the only one. I don't know.
he could be fooling all of us because
that's complete bullshit.
let me give
No,
you
I don't
my
think so.
answer.
People do it.
The marathon did not happen. He wore Tesla shoes.
Yeah. Well, they have Tesla shoes.
But the other two are like celebrities. The LL Cool thing I don't buy because he wears a bucket hat, first of all, not a backwards baseball cap.
Yeah,
And there's no way if you said you were driving him.
Yeah.
So why are you in the back? Why is a white
Passenger
guy
seat.
that's driving them that
Console.
works for the stadium in the back
Yeah,
with
what's
all
up,
these
Miss
rappers?
Daisy?
Doesn't sound plausible. So
I'm just at the LL Cool thing.
yeah, you
Yeah.
being drunk and peeing on somebody, that sounds very much
Just saying,
So,
LL Cool
right.
thing.
Wait,
You
did
ready for me to
pass
reveal?
out at any
yes.
point?
What's the truth?
I went 28.4 miles and I
Oh.
completed an ultra marathon.
Holy.
I see. I should have guessed that one because I was like,
Oh,
well, if
wearing
it's training.
Tesla shoes?
sounds-
Wearing Tesla shoes, compression socks, and boxer briefs.
What the
When was
heck?
this?
And nothing else?
This was in no. You need a lot more. Udder butter apparently is a thing for your nipples.
Say no
Heard of
chase.
that, yeah.
Yeah. I think it was 2018. I almost brought the medal upstairs. It's downstairs.
Wow.
Jeff,
Wow. Well
Oh
done.
my god.
The other two stories are one step away from being true. I
Yeah,
just didn't
no,
pee
that's-
on Spurrier. He was the rest of the
was
story
there.
was accurate. And LL Cool J was actually a coworker who told me the story when I worked for the Rays. So
Okay.
I guess I
Close
shouldn't say
enough.
that. I don't want to drop a dime on
Yeah.
LL.
no, Jeff, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Well done.
Got us.
Well,
So you get
That
4
was-
points
that's
for
how we
that.
do it.
1,
That's how we
2,
do it.
3, 4. Okay. So now it's a 3-way tie for first place. Jeff, Mike, and Tom have 6. Des and Zeus have 1 apiece. And that is the end of round 1. All right.
Wow.
And we're about an hour in. So
Keep going.
do I need to
I got
speed it up?
another
Are you
one.
guys are we good? Does this seem
fine with
No,
that.
we're good.
seem good?
Let's rock it.
yeah.
All right, we're going to change up the order a little bit for round 2. We will start with Zeus this time. You go first
right.
with your stories if you're ready, sir.
Yep. So one time I was fishing on Dunedin Causeway. You probably know Dunedin Causeway, right?
Yeah.
And if you know how the causeways are, you can't cast very far because there's these like electric lines. I'm assuming it's electric or phone lines that are like maybe 30 feet out. So you can't cast very far because you might hit birds or just get caught up in the thing. Anyway, I actually I caught a pelican like in the wing when I was casting out because I'm an idiot and I casted too far. So I freaked out and I got worried. So yank it back and it freaking flies back and it hits my buddy Ty in the eye.
bird?
No, I yanked the hook out. and it caught my friend's eyelid, but it didn't scratch his eye. It didn't do any damage to the eye, but it was in his eyelid. And dude, this is how badass this dude was. He was like unfazed. He just pulls it out of his fucking eyelid. It's disgusting. And smacks me on the back, says it's okay. I still talk to him to this day. He's been in prison twice though in the time that he's like badass.
That's number one.
That's number one.
Yeah. Whole question.
All right.
So my second story is again me and Ty, the guy from the previous story.
Yeah.
We had a lawn mowing business for a while, and this was also our criminal enterprise. What we would do is whenever we get a job, if the like family that was letting us mow the lawn left, I would be the lookout, like mowing the lawn, keeping an eye on things, and he would go in and he would find a way to break into the house and like steal shit. And this wasn't our only racket. Our other racket was we would also rob this gas station that was on, Dunedin. We just mentioned Dunedin.
I was there earlier.
It's like Dunedin Road or whatever. There's this gas station, and it was along a drainage ditch. And we would crawl down the drainage ditch with newspaper bags on our backs, and we would break in and steal a shitload of cigarettes and beer. And then we'd go back to where like all the older people that we hung out with were, and we'd like sell them cigarettes and sell them beer.
Yeah.
And just get to hang out with the older people because we had connections. So yeah. My last story is when I was like 12 or 13, I got this letter from an old friend from Louisiana when I lived in Louisiana. His name was Mike. And he tells me how he was like always into me, but he never knew how to say it. And I was young, but I knew I wasn't gay at this point. At that point, I knew I wasn't gay. Now I'm confused.
Your dad thought you were.
But I told him that I was dating a girl and that I was going to run away with her. I don't know, live on the streets, whatever. Just I made something up. And he never got back to me. And then like one day, like 3 months later, I called down to see how he was doing because he hadn't talked to me, and we were pretty close friends. We talked all the time, and he had killed himself. And yeah, so I don't know if it was about that. I mean, I'm sure confusion, all that stuff, the way the world was. This was like 30 years ago, but yeah, I've never told that story actually, but there's that one.
Well, way to bring the mood down.
The end of that story really killed a good punchline I have ready to go.
Yeah, no,
sorry, dude.
that's how life is.
Wow.
I'm ready to answer the question, Tom.
No.
Are you gonna spew out your answer?
Question.
Des. Wait, yeah, go ahead. Des.
Okay,
first
so how old
question.
did you say you were when you were robbing the store via the ditch or whatever?
We were like 16, 17, around there.
So how old were the kids that you were selling the shit to?
Oh, they were like 21, 22. We were hanging out with like the older kids. Like we had a service that we were providing. We were
So why wouldn't
always
they just go buy their own cigarettes and beer?
because we charged way less because we got them for free.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Jeff, you got a question?
I
I hope you
have a
took
question.
notes for these stories.
I have a question, but it seems inappropriate to ask if it's true.
I'm not gonna have hurt feelings over any of them.
Well, I'm saying for YouTube reasons.
Yeah.
Number 3. Okay. What was number 1? Just give me number 1 again. I didn't take notes on that
That
one.
was
Pelican fish hook?
when I caught Ty's eye with the hook.
Oh. God damn it. You didn't leave me with much. Number 3, did you go to his funeral?
Well, and I was like 13. I couldn't have flown down and he had already died 3 months earlier, so that'd have been a little late.
Wait, so how old was he?
We were both around 12, 13. But again, he was living in Louisiana, and it was 3 months before that he had died, almost to the day that we had the conversation. So, you know.
So
Why didn't you just say you weren't gay?
Wait a minute. How old was he when he died?
Like 12 or 13.
He killed himself at 13?
Yeah, it happens.
Okay.
What did you say, Des?
I said, why didn't you just tell him that you weren't gay?
Because I was 13 and you were stupid and you don't know how to deal with shit like that. But now you can just cut off your penis if you're at all questioning anything.
I got a question.
Yeah.
What size hook was number 1?
I don't measure hooks. I mean,
interesting.
Like
right.
That big. You know, we were
like
catching mullet off of Dunedin Causeway.
So like a number 6.
Yeah, right. Sure.
Don't you just stick your arm in the river for a mullet?
No, that's catfish, and
I think it's called. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, Jeff, question.
What was the name of the store you were robbing in number 2?
It was like a no-name. It was like a no-name gas station. Like you go in there, they got like the door that we would open. Like you just would pry it open and it'd pop out. Like you just pulled out enough so that the like latch would come out. They didn't even deadbolt it. You just pop it, and then he would climb over this like iron gate to get in, and he'd toss everything over to me. I'd put it in the bag, and then we crawl along the thing again. And
Zeus is the best liar out of the 3 of us, by the way.
Like I have no idea what I'm even looking at.
Des.
Yes, Des.
So the gas station closed, or were you doing grab and goes?
No. This wasn't a run in and grab things. No, we were covert. We were like CIA. We were like fucking black ops.
Gosh. I don't even know what to ask about the pelican and the fish hook and all of that. So what was this, day or night, or what? When were you robbing the gas station?
At night. We can't do that during the day.
What time were you fishing?
Oh, fishing? That was like middle of the day, like 2, 3 o'clock. Actually, we would usually go there like after work, so maybe like 4-ish, 5-ish. And go fishing after work, smoke a bunch of cigarettes.
Where is this causeway? Where was it located?
Dunedin.
I mean, where is that?
It's near Clearwater.
Okay. Florida.
In fact, it was off of Curlew, which is runs right through the Dunedin area.
Can you explain what a causeway is?
I don't know what a causeway is.
It's a man-made road.
I know what a causeway is. I'm just asking.
I'm sorry. You're testing him. Okay.
She wasn't asking for the game.
I'm an idiot.
I was Florida, and if you know anything about Florida, once you cross the state line, your IQ drops by like 15 points. So I could know what a causeway was and not be able to explain it.
All right, time is up.
How dare you?
Wow, this is going to be tough. Let's start with Des. You first. So is it the caught a pelican, ripped the hook out, went into his friend's eye, and the friend pulled it out of his eye?
No. Let me clarify that. I flung it back, and then when it flew back, it caught him in
pulled
the
it
eye.
out, and then went into his friend's eye.
Okay.
Or is it the lawnmower business with the same friend that would go into the houses and steal stuff, and then also steal from gas stations? Or is it number 3, had a friend in Louisiana that was 12 or 13 that had a crush on Zeus, as implausible as that would be, and then killed himself over it, as implausible as that would be.
I don't know if he killed himself over it. It just was,
supposedly.
It was ironic.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Okay. So those are the 3 stories. What is your choice?
I'm going to go with the thievery.
Thievery. Okay. So it does. Don't say anything, Zeus. Mike.
I'm going to go with number 2.
Another. Jeff?
I'm gonna talk about the pattern that all four of you did number 2 the first time. That's why I actually scratched on my sheet to change the one I was picking, the truth, to number 1. I'm gonna vote to break the pattern here because number 3 is so morbid. I hope it is made up, but I hope it's not made up. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm going number 3.
Wow.
I know that there's hints of truth in all of these, I bet.
Mm-hmm.
And these could be things that happened to friends of yours, or parts of the story might be true, and then other parts are embellished. It's hard to say. I think I'm going to go with number 3 as well. Well, God. That's tough. I don't know. I'll go with number 3. All right, Zeus, reveal.
It was number 2. We were fucking.
Dude.
We did it like 3-4 nights a week. I don't know how they didn't have somebody fucking sitting in there waiting to catch us.
Look who got some points.
Why'd you throw that sad ass story in the mix?
I guess.
Oh, that
Rude.
The other two are complete bullshit.
I guess.
I mean, Ty and I did go fishing. And I think what sold you guys on the Mike story was I've never told that story before.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta sell it.
I was
didn't
about
hear
to
you
say, did Mike say, why did you tell your dad it was Charlotte who gave you the blowjob? and you fucking stepped on a punchline. You made it sad.
No,
If I had heard you say that you never told that story before, I wouldn't have picked it, because you tell every story to everybody.
that's not true. I've never told the 2 stories that I told here I've never told.
I've got
I
some.
don't know. All right, so looking at the leaderboard, Mike has moved into the lead with 7 points.
Wait, what?
Mike has 7 points in the lead. Jeff has 6. Tom has 6. Zeus has 3. You picked up 2 points, and Dez is in last place with 2 points.
Hey, how come I'm not tied with Zeus still?
Oh, because he just got some points because he fooled 2 of us.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
I'm going to go next.
I gotta make peepees.
Oh, you leaving?
No, you can go, but
Okay, I'll be back.
Oh, come on. How are you going to hear the stories?
Okay, let me hear the stories.
Yeah.
and I'll make peepees.
Good thinking.
And then you can think about them while you're peeing on Steve Spurrier's leg. All right.
Fucking
Story
hate that.
number
Yeah. Remember to leave a stall rule.
number 1. I once punched Jesus Christ in the face. Story number 2. I once spit on a homeless woman.
okay.
Who hasn't done that?
I haven't, Rude.
Story number 3. I
Redneck.
once ran over and killed a small dog while the owner was walking it.
Oh man, I have a great story. I should have
It's
told.
still number 3, man.
Man, you love animal cruelty stories.
It's
Yeah,
number
you're kind of
3, dude.
addicted to
Can
animals.
you pick number 3 right now.
Yeah, I think PETA's gonna ban this one.
I think it's number 3.
All right.
Well,
you
now,
gonna
what
be
did you
back
do
in
with the
5
animal
minutes,
again?
Zeus?
Go, hurry, go pee.
What did you do with the animal again?
Killed
I
it.
ran over and killed a small dog.
Oh shit! Who
It's
hasn't
still
done
number
that?
3, man.
All right.
All
Does
right.
anybody who wants to start with a question?
I will. What was Jesus Christ wearing?
A robe. Next question.
Me.
Oh,
Um,
no. I mean, isn't that a question?
I
was
answered
this
the question. I said a robe.
Oh.
an inanimate Jesus Christ, or was this
Yeah.
like
It was a picture.
okay? Okay.
On the wall. Obviously, I wasn't alive too. I'm pretty old, but I'm
Well,
2,000
I
years
mean,
old.
well, if you were
So,
trying to be like, yeah, I saw
It was a
him.
picture on the wall in our living room. Kind of like
Wow.
it was kind of like a 5x8, not a framed picture, but a picture like on a piece of wood, and then the picture kind of glued on there or something like that. I guess if I'm describing it.
etched. You can-
No, it wasn't like
Glued.
one of those velvet Jesuses or anything. It was just a 5x8 Jesus in the living room.
Number 3, Tom. You killed a dog. Just freaking.
Did you
did it.
do any of these 3 things on purpose?
Yes.
Someone asked which one.
Okay.
Why did you kill the dog?
Why did you kill a dog?
Why? It was
Why did you kill a dog
accidental.
on purpose?
It was
Yeah,
accidental.
but still, why'd you kill it? Why'd you do that?
Well, I was driving, and this was about 4 years ago in the neighborhood I lived in. So it was a neighborhood street, where there's no like double yellow lines. There's not a lot of traffic. I was just driving to get out of the neighborhood, and this guy was walking his dog. What? The guy was walking his dog. He was walking like in the street, how they do sometimes, but he was on the side, like in the street, but over on the side. And then when as I was passing, and the dog was on a leash, but the dog kind of lunged out. They were walking away from me. It's like I was driving forward, and they were walking in the same direction I was driving. So they were not looking in my direction, and the dog kind of lunged out at the last second, and bang.
So, wait, when you told the story, you said you ran across the street.
No. I said I ran over a dog.
Oh.
I have a question.
Okay, Mike.
Was there blood? Jesus?
With Jesus? Is that what you said?
No, the dog.
Oh.
Was there blood?
There was immaculate blood on this picture. No. I don't recall a lot of blood. I mean, it was dead.
It's not.
What kind of car were you driving?
I can't believe you spit on a homeless person, Tom.
Ford Explorer.
Okay.
Did you realize you hit the dog
Yes.
when you hit it, or did you not know until you saw it in the rearview mirror?
No, because I could feel it.
Well, if it's a small dog, maybe you did it in your Ford Explorer.
No, I felt the thud, and I saw them walking, and then when I heard and felt kind of a thud, I stopped and got
Why
and you
did
ran over it. Did its eyeballs pop out?
No.
Oh,
It wasn't
okay.
a dog, guys.
Why did you punch our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ in painting form?
This was, I would say I was probably about 12 or 13, maybe 14, I think, actually. And I was just walking from my bedroom to the kitchen through the living room. I was just kind of walking and, bopping and bebopping, and the picture was there, and I just threw a punch as I was walking past and hit it. And my mom saw it, and she was aghast, to say the least.
So you intentionally spit on a homeless person. I think that's what he said.
Yeah. So
Someone has to ask him about the homeless person.
Why did you spit on a homeless person?
Dude, he totally spit on a homeless person. I can't believe it. We need to kick him off the podcast. Tom's no longer allowed on. He spit on homeless people.
Well, punching Jesus, technically, if he
This
did
is
that, would be
outrageous.
All right. Any more questions?
Yeah, why'd you spit on the homeless lady?
Why did you spit? Or was it an accident that you spit on this homeless?
Why did you spit on this homeless child?
It was an
Tom,
accident.
man, Jesus Christ. Can you believe that? That's amazing. That's like a big get, Tom.
How does one accidentally spit on someone?
It was
So
what's
again,
How does
was
one
an
accidentally
accident.
spit on a person?
How do you accidentally? I was
Yeah.
coming out of a 7-Eleven, and when I walked out, I had to spit, and when I got out the door, I turned and spit,
Tom
and she
spit
was
on
sitting there.
see, it would have been more believable.
It was
if you
accidental.
spit on Jesus
I
Christ.
can't believe that Tom spit on Jesus Christ's dog.
And they ran it over with a car.
Yeah.
That's overkill.
All right, time is up. Those
All
are
right.
my stories. So we'll go around the room. We'll start with you, Jeff.
I know what you
So did I punch Jesus in the face? Did I spit on a homeless woman? Or did I run over and kill a small dog while the owner was walking the dog?
Really
I,
good at
I know which one. it is.
Yeah.
I'm going with punch Jesus.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, love.
Zeus, what is your guess?
I think it's abysmal, but I think you spit on a homeless woman.
Mike, what is your guess?
Totally spit on a homeless person.
You dick.
100%, no question about it.
Des.
I'm gonna go with kill the dog.
Wow, so you guys get 3 different. So I'm doing something right, I think.
Yeah, those are all very plausible stories.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't run over a dog. That's bullshit.
You say you didn't do it on purpose?
I wouldn't run over a cat, yet I did.
I ran over a raccoon I thought was a dog. Not
Okay,
on
the
purpose.
dog is a. I had I've made up like this whole backstory that it was a Jack Russell Terrier. Nobody even asked me all these questions. I was ready to I had all this stuff ready for this story. Mike got me with the blood. I wasn't ready for that question.
Yeah.
I ran over a cat.
In my mind, I was just thinking it was like kind of a dead lump animal without not a lot of blood around. But
if they bounce across the undercarriage, you get less blood.
The blood, he didn't know.
Wheels go over it, blood everywhere.
You would know.
If the wheel went over, if I just kind of bumped it with the fender, I could see it not being bloody.
Okay, what?
The spit on a homeless woman, that's false.
Oh,
First of all, I don't spit.
That's why I didn't pick that one. I was like, you don't look like a spitter.
I'm not a spitter. I'm a swallow. No,
He's not.
I'm not a spitter.
I love you guys. I really do.
I don't know why guys spit all the time. I see like the athletes. I never spit. What's the point of spitting all the time?
Well, if they're chewing the tobacco.
And the Jesus Christ, I did punch a picture of Jesus Christ in the face when I was like 14 years old. My mom was sitting there and she was like, "What are you doing?"
Were you drunk?
I was 12.
He was. I hope not.
That is it. So I punched you. So Jeff was correct. So you get a point. And then I get 3 points.
Wow.
So I moved back into the lead. I got 9. Jeff and Mike are tied with 7. Zeus with 3 and Des with 2. Okay. So who's
whatever
left?
first
Yeah,
one takes
Des, Mike,
place.
and Jeff still need to go, right?
Yeah.
Des, Mike, and Jeff.
So let's go, Michael,
the-
motorcycle. You're up again.
Me?
Yeah, your second round of.
All right. Here's the 3 of them. You ready?
Okay. Is there a check glider in this one? Okay, go ahead.
I escorted Carolyn Grimes, who is the woman who portrayed Zuzu in It's a Wonderful Life, to a formal dinner. Number 2, I walked into my office one morning and Drew Barrymore, the actress, was sitting at my desk. Number 3.
Did she flash you like on David Letterman?
Number 3, I let Jodie Foster borrow my jacket one night during an interview because she was cold.
Another Hinckley story.
Yeah, there's a hint.
It all comes full circle.
Number 1, I escorted Carolyn Grimes, the woman who portrayed Zuzu in The Wonderful Life, to a formal dinner. Number 2, I walked into my office one morning and Drew Barrymore, the actress, was sitting at my desk. Number 3, I let Jodie Foster borrow my jacket one night during an interview because she was cold.
So wait, it's not Senator Drew Barrymore? You said Drew Barrymore, the actress, like
the actress. No, yeah, these are all actresses.
All right, Zeus. Question:
how old were you when you walked in and Drew Barrymore was sitting at your desk?
24.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
She was like 8.
Yeah.
What job was this?
She was an actress when she was 8. Yeah, she was in like Poltergeist or whatever.
What job was it that you had?
72, so 24, that's 96.
She'd have been like 12.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
What was the job that you had when she was sitting at your desk?
I was managing a historic theater in Baltimore.
Okay. And
what was she complaining about stuff, or what was she doing there?
She was there because she was starring in a Woody Allen movie with Edward Norton, and Edward Norton was from Columbia, Maryland, and we had a special event at the theater. It was Everyone Says I Love You with Woody Allen was the director.
So Jodie Foster, why would she explain why she ended up with your jacket? I mean, she's a famous actress with an entourage or whatever. Why does she need Michael's jacket?
So again, I was managing this theater, and she was there for a special event, and she was upstairs.
Is this the same story as the other one?
No, she was upstairs. not in the office.
Was she sitting with Drew Barrymore?
This is a totally
At your
different.
desk.
She was waiting to come down, and she was cold because we had the air conditioning going, and I gave her my sports coat.
Jodie Foster was standing under the vent in his office.
So working in this theater, you were often wearing sports coats?
All the time.
Okay.
Did you get your jacket back?
I'm sorry?
Did you get your jacket back?
Yes.
Oh. So she got uncold?
No, I got it at the end of the night.
So you asked Jodie Foster, a famous person, for your fucking
she
jacket
left
back?
No, she left it.
You and
Keep it.
Prejudice prick.
He got it out of the trash at the end of the night.
There you go,
How old were you and how old was Zuzu when you took her to dinner or whatever?
Oh, she would have been fucking ancient.
So, yeah, she was old. I was probably 23, 24, something like that.
How old is she?
She was probably in her 70s.
Why did you all go to dinner?
So we had a special event at the theater for It's a Wonderful Life, and I had to go pick her up at the airport at BWI and then I took her out to dinner, and then I took her to her hotel, Sheraton in Towson.
The special event where Drew Barrymore was there and Jodie Foster was there.
No, different
Three
events.
different times.
Yeah.
3 different times.
So
There's a lot of special events at this place.
I will say, just to be transparent, I have met all 3 of these people.
Okay, hold on. What movie
Okay.
did you say that the one with Drew Barrymore? What movie was she going to be in with the Woody Allen directing it?
Edward Norton
Everyone
was in it.
says I love you.
Okay.
It was directed by Woody Allen.
What was Jodie Foster inside or outside when she asked for your jacket?
Inside. Good question.
And Barrymore in your office, was there any conversation? Was it just the two
Yeah, I
of you,
talked
and
to
what
her.
happened?
No, I talked to her for like an hour. It was really weird, actually. It was very cool.
Was she a child or an adult?
No, she was an adult. I mean, she's about our age, I think.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
No,
said you were 22.
In the office, and she was sitting at my desk, and I was like, holy shit. Like, I knew that she was going to be there. I didn't know she was going to be sitting in the office at my desk. And then I sat at Mr. Hewitt's desk, and we ended up chatting for like an hour and 10 minutes.
But why was she in your office though?
So they were there for the local premiere, but she was just, making calls and stuff like that.
Oh, so she was using telephone?
I mean, this was before cell phones.
Or she needs somewhere to sit
Yeah.
to get away from the people? Oh.
And who else was at the dinner with the first lady?
Carolyn Grimes.
There was another lady that worked at the theater, and her name was Rebecca. I can't remember her last name, but she accompanied me to go pick up Carolyn at the airport.
Not like Jimmy Stewart or anybody.
No, he was already dead, but Carolyn Grimes, she always referred to Jimmy Stewart as Mr. Stewart, which I thought was interesting.
All right,
Who-
time is up.
Oh, I have a really
unfortunately.
important question. No, it's really important.
Okay.
Okay. Who paid for this dinner?
The owner of the theater.
Okay.
And Rebecca had the credit card. I didn't have that.
Not a question, just a statement for Desiree and I. You said our age. I mean,
We weren't born. Well, yeah.
No, you guys are ageist.
I don't know. I think I don't know if Jeff is our age or not, but I know Desiree's not.
how old do you think I am?
47.
44.
I'm going with about 35.
I think I know. I think you're like
Desiree-
36.
I think
Desiree hit it on the nail. I'm 35. I'm not bald.
Wow.
A lot of people think I'm bald because I wear a hat.
What's wrong with being
35.
bald?
Well,
I'm 33. So we're what
30.
you call geriatric millennials.
Okay.
there you go.
Sorry, Jeff.
Let's We'll go around the table here. Don't say anything, Mike. Des, what is your guess? Is it the lady from It's a Wonderful Life that Mike took to dinner, but he didn't pay for it? Was it Drew Barrymore was in his office? Or was it Jodie Foster that he gave her his jacket because she was cold?
I'm going to go with the first one.
All right. Jeff, what is your guess?
As much as I want to go with Zuzu's pedals, I'm going to say it was Jodie Foster, number 3.
I'm going to guess number 1.
Okay.
And
So everybody's
Zeus-
gone, right?
Yeah, what's your guess?
I happen to know for a fact that it's 1 because he actually told me that story.
Which one?
So 1.
Which
I
was
did,
number
Zeus
1?
was very quiet
Time
and
point.
he didn't have like any questions.
No, but it wasn't. Okay, this may be. So
Did you fuck up the game? Did you break the game?
no, but I didn't just go to dinner with her myself. It was with a group of people.
Okay, so
So you said you went to dinner with, you escorted her, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't.
But he
I
never
was
said by
with people.
himself. So what's the truth,
fine.
Mike?
The truth is, I walked in my office one morning and Drew Barrymore, the actress, was sitting at my desk.
What? Number 1's not true?
Man, now I
I
feel
thought it was
bad.
one.
Now I feel
I
bad.
thought that was like exactly the story you told me, is that you went to dinner with
I
Caroline
did, but
Grimes.
it was with numerous people. It wasn't just myself.
He didn't escort her to dinner. He
See,
just
that's like-
attended a dinner.
But
That's
it
like-
doesn't have to be by yourself to
Is that,
escort
clo-
her.
is that too close? But I did talk to Drew Barrymore for like an hour.
No, that's fine. No,
Wait
I
a
mean,
minute.
that's
What makes number 1 false?
huh?
The only thing that makes number 1 false is that there was other people at
Yeah,
the
I
table.
didn't escort her. I was there with a number of people.
But I thought you picked her up and all that.
I did.
That's
yeah, so
That's
did you
escorting.
drive her? That's
Man,
escorting.
it's no big deal. It's no big deal.
Did you walk in the restaurant with her?
Give it a half point. I don't even know. I'm sorry, guys.
I would say as the only person who didn't get a point that you 3 were right.
Okay.
Yeah. Or
Then,
we all
then
get
give him a point.
Uh,
I mean, that's fine.
Well, he did fool it though. So the
He
Barrymore was
fooled me.
true and nobody guessed that. I didn't even think that was close to being true.
No, I didn't. I thought total
I
bullshit.
thought that
Sounds
was the
preposterous.
worst.
How old was she? She had to be like 12.
She was like our age,
She
man.
was like 20 something. I looked it up.
Freaking
Google.
nuts.
said
Well, how
she's
should we
21.
score that then? Should
I
Sorry.
should get a point.
Never mind. Let's just
I
do
think
it.
it
Damn.
was-
I think everyone but me should get a point, in fairness.
Everyone should get a point except for the Jodie Foster part.
I will
But-
accept that.
But you deserve points, Michael.
But I didn't give her a jacket.
Yeah.
I didn't give her my jacket.
So we'll give him the points for the Drew Barrymore one, but we
Definitely
also
gets 1 point for fooling Jeff. So that's 1.
Right. But if
He
his
kind of
if his-
half fooled us.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
you
should-
don't
I
get.
guess
He
I
doesn't
give
get
the
those
point for
points.
Drew Barrymore, but I will, for you guys, punch him twice in the nuts when we're done.
No, I went to dinner with Caroline Grimes, but I didn't escort her. I was amongst a group of people.
See,
Yeah,
I-
but did you drive her to the restaurant? Did you walk into the restaurant with her?
Right, but Drew Barrymore,
That's escorting.
I had like an hour-long conversation with
Did
her.
she have her arm in yours as you kind of helped her walk because she was elderly?
It wasn't.
that's so.
Did you put her walker in the car?
Drew Barrymore was still like super cute at the time when.
All right.
Still think she had to be like 12, which makes
Dude.
you so creepy.
Google said she was 21.
No, she wasn't 12. No, we were both about the same.
You know what
age.
I'm going to do? Okay, to be fair, so I'm going to give Mike 1 point and I'm going to give Des 1 point because I actually heard that story also. From
Why don't I get
sorry,
a
I'm
point? Why,
sorry.
why am I
So
left out?
me
of the
and-
point
no,
here?
because we heard it before, so it's
I'm
kind
sorry I
of
screwed
unfair.
it up. I do have another set of stories.
I'm going to give Mike 1 and Des
Like,
1.
everything.
Okay,
I did
official
story-
scoreboard. So coming up, we still got Des and Jeff.
Wait, did I not get a point?
No,
No, because you already heard the story before. Do you listen?
I didn't get a point either.
Yeah, but not on the show. I happened to hear it. That was his flow.
I met Darth Vader.
Okay, so 8 points for Mike, 7 for Jeff.
I screwed it.
Why do I have 9 points? So I got 9. Mike has 8. Jeff has 7. Zeus has 3, and Des has 3.
I drove a car through a river one time.
I feel ripped off on points here.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Still can't believe Jeff ran a marathon.
My sister.
An ultra marathon.
Ultra marathon. That's like ultra mega. Okay, Des, you're up again. Are you ready to go?
I know Jeff has.
Okay,
sure?
last two storytellers, Des and Jeff. It's very close, so pay attention.
All right.
Okay.
I once wrecked a rental car and returned it after driving down a muddy dirt road to cover up the damage.
100% true.
I am notorious for dropping my phone, but by far the worst place I've ever dropped my phone was down the crack between the elevator and the floor.
Wow.
A few years ago, I started a small house fire by using an extension cord to plug in a space heater outside.
Also possible. These are wow.
I think number one.
You keep guessing.
Stop trying to guess it, and like it's not like a hole in one.
What location was the rental car in the muddy field or whatever you drove through?
What do you mean, local?
Like
where city? Yeah, where was it?
Oh, it's in the same city I live in, Wichita.
I guess I could have guessed you live in Wichita.
Oh, I mean, like, no, the reason I had the rental car is because I had a wrecked car. Like, it wasn't like I was on the vacation.
Okay.
And explain, how did the phone and the crack of the elevator, how did that happen?
So, like the crack in the elevator?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I had a phone that I didn't have a case on my phone. And it was actually an iPhone. And like I dropped it. I didn't have a case on it, like slipped out of my hand because apparently I don't know how to hold shit. And then like I went to go get it and I kind of kicked it a little bit. And that's when it kind of fell down the crack. I didn't get it back.
I like my ferret story.
Can I have a question?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Mike.
Did you get the phone back?
No, I didn't get it back. Literally just said that. No.
She literally just said that.
Mike is listening closely. Zeus, do you have a question?
Did you fool them with covering up the damage to the car? And how bad was the damage?
I didn't hear anything, so I guess not. And it wasn't like bad, it wasn't totaled or anything. It was just like a little bit of damage. Like,
okay.
How did the fire get put out?
Fire extinguisher.
Wow.
You sound unsure of that.
It's an electric fire.
You were there, right?
It's an electric fire. You can't throw water on it.
Wow.
All of these are plausible. Gosh. And so explain, what was the damage exactly? And what on the car was damaged and to what degree? And how did you manage to cover it up with dirt and mud?
Well, I was turning a red light. Well, maybe it was green. I don't really know exactly how.
She's a good liar.
Your stories now.
But like, I hit somebody and then
you hit a person?
No, I hit a car. Somebody that was driving. And so then I was like, oh God, shit. And so I was like, I gotta return this car. So I just went and drove down the road. It was like a little bit of damage on the front bumper, like made the driver's like fender.
It was a Jack Terrier, Tom.
Yeah.
I mean, it was noticeable if it was like clean.
Was there any blood?
So there's no blood.
So wait, so there was no like insurance? Did you stop and you guys exchange information?
We did all that, and yeah, we did all that. But
so how did the rental company not know about the?
I don't know. Like I said, I returned it in the night drop box. Never heard anything
This
about
is your
it.
story now. Okay, Mike, you got a question?
No. I don't have any questions. I think I know
you know what
it
it is. I'm perplexed. Zeus, ask a question. Help us out.
I don't buy the car one.
That's not a question, Zeus.
Fire. So, what did you replace your iPhone with?
Well, I told the phone company it was stolen, so then I got a replacement iPhone.
She's up to no good somewhere in here.
Well, because I thought if I told him I dropped it, no, if I told him I lost it, then like I was thinking I was gonna have to pay like a different deductible or whatever.
Okay, I got a good
I'm
question.
pretty sure anything that falls in that crack in the elevator, that's like also where you find all your lost socks that disappear from the dryer.
Oh, I'm sure there's hella like debit cards, telephones, like money.
It's a crack in the
said,
multiverse.
Yes, exactly. String theory,
Like
that kind of shit.
You said the space heater was outside and the extension cord. Why were you trying to heat up the outside? I gotcha.
No, listen,
gotcha.
listen. So my cats go outside.
What? Your
and
cats
my
were
cats, yeah. So it was like one of those. I don't know what it's called, but the ones that like, they're like the coils, not like a
yeah,
like
the
one
heater.
of those. Yes, but I don't know.
Like an
There's a
electric
certain
heat.
name for them.
Mhm.
They have like an oily stuff in it. Anyway, so I
Yeah.
had it on. It was like an outside plug, like a patio, like outdoor outlet, and it was actually plugged in for 3 whole months
But
and on
why were you trying
throughout
to
the
heat
winter.
up?
So when my cats went outside, they could lay by it and they would be warm.
She's interesting. Yeah, she's
I
good.
don't know. That's so crazy. That might be true.
Yeah,
Mike,
I think
you
that's
got a
true.
question, Mike?
No, I think that's true.
Yes.
I think that,
Okay,
yeah.
time's up. Woo. I don't know. Wow. So is it we'll start with you, Zeus. Is it the rental car? Is it the elevator? Or is it the space heater?
I'm going with the elevator with the foam.
Really?
Yeah.
Mike,
Number 3, space heater.
you think she was trying to heat up the outside world
No, the cats.
for her cats? Jeff, you got a guess?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with number 3 also.
Wow. That's I think it's the rental car. Believe it or not, because I've done something. I had a crack in my windshield,
Mhm.
and I let the dirt get all over it. And then I took it to be inspected because I didn't want them to see the crack. I purposely didn't wash the windshield. I
Mhm.
just did the wipers in the middle. So I've done something similar. I'm gonna say it's the rental car. That's my guess. So Des,
Wow. All
what's
over
the
the-
truth?
The truth is the rental car.
Oh!
So actually the wreck, it was pretty bad. I hit this girl, like honestly, I don't know if my light was green or if it was red. I was not paying attention. I was taking selfies. And so I ran, I turned.
It was red.
That I would have believed it.
Well, but there was only like me and like her. Like it wasn't like it was a bunch of traffic. Like, and so she was coming and I'm pretty sure the light was green. So I continued to go. And then I'm like, this girl's not stopping. Like she's fuck. Oh shit. She is not stopping. And so I hit her like, and it was just like the turn lane, but she was going like normal speed, like you would on a regular road, like 35, 40 miles an hour. And I hit her and she had like a Kia that it totaled her car. But this rental car, it was a Jeep and it was a beast.
Holy crap.
And so, there was like maybe a dent and a area on the bumper that was like nicked and a bunch of scratches and like, spindly cracks.
Just
But I was like,
dirtied
oh
it
shit.
up and
Yeah, I actually had it for 3.5 months because my car, I got into a wreck. Somebody hit me. And so I had this car for like 3.5 months. It's cool.
That's awesome.
wow.
Yeah. And I never heard anything about it. I just dropped it off in the night drop box and just went along the way.
Is there any truth to the other stories?
Mm-hmm.
What,
Actually, no, there's no truth to the elevator story. That's like one of my worst fears though.
No
And
truth
then
to the
is
elevator.
dropping shit in the elevator.
in the
Mhm.
And then the last story is the only part that's not true about that story is the small fire part. I did fucking have
Because you know how cold it gets in Wichita.
You
I
spent a
know.
lot of money on electricity to heat up the outside cold in the winter
yeah, for the cats.
for
Yeah,
your cats.
It's a lot of electricity.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
isn't
think-
it like any more than something else you plug in?
I think I speak for all of us in saying that this is our favorite episode.
It did short the circuit out and like the plug didn't work anymore. I had to replace that plug, but it was
Wow.
plugged in for
And
like
your
3
cats
months.
would
And so
snuggle up to the
yeah, and there's like a
you-
chair. Yeah, they went outside all the time.
We got to do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
one
we
time
still have
we had kittens, and my dad set
Oh.
up like a cardboard box he put a light bulb in there,
Mm-hmm.
and that kept it warm inside the box for the kittens. So
Yeah.
that was
You used-
outside, it was a detached garage outside.
I jumped on.
All right,
Yeah,
so
we got
Jeff
one
is
more.
coming up last.
Sorry,
Scoreboard.
Jeff.
Tom's got 10. That's me in the lead. Mike has 8. Jeff has 7. You can still catch me. Dez moved all the way up to 6 points. Zeus, you're way down at 3 points. You
So
don't
if-
have
I no chance of
Way-
winning.
If I fool all 4 of you again, I win the game.
All right.
Yes, you will.
Oh,
Oof.
aspirations.
Focus up,
Yeah.
Jeff.
You'll
I
get
don't-
all of the. We didn't say what the prize was, but I have. I found a $30 Uber Eats.
Uber
gift.
Eats. That's good.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you that if you
Um,
win. If I win, I just keep.
Keep
I've
your
got
Uber-
it
Keep
anyway.
it.
Order yourself some Uber Eats. I'm gonna turn my camera off for a minute, but I'm gonna
Give it
take
to
that
the
with me.
homeless woman's face you
Okay.
spit in.
I did not do that. That was a lie.
I believe you did that, Tom.
Yeah, all the
Wait.
lies we told are like, oh, I hope nobody listens to a small portion of this podcast.
What it does? Do we need to wait for
I
Des?
just
No,
think
I'm
I
still
just
here.
said
Okay.
Yeah.
To hear about when I disposed of that dead body. I mean, that was. I mean, with
Oh,
Zeus.
should I not tell that story? Oh.
With Zeus. That was Zeus's idea.
When you crawled in the ditch with the newspaper bags covering your back.
Absolutely.
We were
I did. That's what
really
threw me off with that story.
They were in the ditch to the Dunedin In and Out or whatever the hell. it was.
Yeah, why would you
No
need
one
to
ever
cover
thought
up with
that-
newspaper bags at nighttime?
No,
And-
they were to carry the shit, you fool.
No one
But
thought
no,
to
you
look
said
at
you were
covering
crawling with.
yourself.
Oh, I thought you like put them on your backs for cover. Like, I don't
No
know.
one
Didn't make
thought to
sense.
look under the Yugo.
What's
Okay.
in the
All right.
box?
What's okay?
All right, you
Are
guys
we
ready?
ready? Let's. Okay, last batch. Jeff,
Yeah.
bring us home.
I'm
All
ready,
right.
baby.
Number
Hit
1.
us. Number 1.
I was a contestant on the
Bullshit.
match game.
Ooh. whoa.
Wait, what year was that? The match game that went off the air in like 1967.
No, Alec Baldwin hosts it.
Oh, okay. There's.
Yeah, there's a new one. Yeah.
Lock
num-
here.
Number 2, my face once went through a boat windshield and I did not need any medical treatment.
Holy crap!
Hmm.
Yeah, I
We
believe
can
it.
tell.
That's
Come on.
very believable.
I guess with a beard, that's
my-
not. All right, number
That's my-
3. I needed to go to a hospital after a frog attacked me in the shower.
What- Okay, so
Wait a
start
minute.
asking
Wait. Hang on. Wait till. Okay. So, match
I got
game,
questions.
face
I have
windshield,
questions.
frog
that lead
attack.
to more questions.
Okay, go ahead. Wait, let me start the timer.
The
5
yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
All right.
What
Mike.
color was the frog?
It was brownish.
Mm,
It was like a tree frog.
mm.
Was this
You
after
want me to
did,
tell you
like,
the story?
All right.
Was it a frog or a toad?
It was a frog. It came up through the shower drain, and I'm
Okay,
deathly
that's-
afraid of frogs.
So did the injury occur by the frog or the freak out?
Oh, the freak out.
Okay.
What was
Yeah,
his
the
name?
frog was this big.
Why are you afraid of frogs?
I don't know.
Oh, they are sticky.
My mom
Weird.
says it's something that happened in my childhood, but I don't want to explore that.
His freak went frog. Yeah. I think okay, we can discount that one.
I don't know. Zeus.
I don't know.
What's your question?
Match game. Was everybody trashed like the original match game?
They
It's so funny 'cause
they gave the celebrities a lot of liquor. Like every commercial break, they were running them new drinks, even if they weren't empty. Not the
Wow.
contestants though, which really pissed me off.
What's the match game?
The
man.
match game, Alec Baldwin hosts it now, but I loved it because I used to watch it at work. We had a channel that showed the
Amazing.
old 70s match game. So I loved it to begin with. So they ask a question, it's like, some stupid question, and then you give an answer, and you have to match 6 celebrities, and whoever gets the most matches wins.
It's actually not very far from what we're doing right now.
And they had the big microphone that was like.
Yes, they still have that with Alec
the
Baldwin.
skinny point?
He's got the long microphone that's like
The Price is Right microphone.
Yes, yeah.
Yes.
And the boating accident. So how did that come to happen, and how were you able to get through that without?
Let me guess, alcohol?
Well, there was alcohol, sure, but no, we were driving on the boat, the steering cable snapped, there was a center console. I was holding on to it, I swung around, my face went through the windshield.
Yeah.
And I was a little beaten and bruised, but I did not need medical treatment.
Can you describe through the windshield? What does that mean?
Aren't they plexiglass?
Shattered glass, or are you talking about?
Oh yeah, shattered glass.
But I thought they were plexiglass.
Yeah, it was plexiglass.
Shattered plexiglass.
My face went through it. I woke up on my buddy's couch the next day, and there were people examining my face, thinking there would be massive scars, and how did he not need to go get stitches? But
I think I've woken up on your buddy's couch before.
I mean, there's a good chance.
This was after that pile of cocaine at the LL.
Yeah, I mean, all 3 of these stories ended up with me waking up on my buddy's couch. So I don't know.
What is a pile? Is it like this? What's a pile?
You're talking about another story.
Oh, okay.
So that's a different story.
So let's see.
You said that.
Okay.
Wait, Des, question.
Boat crash, frog, and what was the other one? Match game.
You said the steering wire snapped.
I was told, I don't know much about boats. I was told the steering cable snapped. So when the boat went over a wave and landed, the engine went this way real fast. So it basically just made us do like a 360. I don't know much about boats and stuff.
Do you have any scars or anything?
No. I did cut my wrist on the plexiglass, but I had a little bruise on my face.
What did you say, Zeus?
I said, can we see your wrists? Let's look for scars.
Well, no scars. No, that was the only blood that was drawn, though.
It would be on his face.
And what were the injuries in the shower?
So I tried to neutralize this frog because I know that frogs absorb things from the outside. Oh. So I grabbed some mouthwash with alcohol in it, thinking it would kill it. So I threw it at it, and I threw the bottle at it. I threw the bottle at it, and the frog started freaking out and jumping, and the floor got wet. And then the frog went leaping out of my bathroom into my bedroom. So I took off to run after it because I couldn't let it go loose in my bedroom, or I would have to just set my house on fire. I slipped because the floor was wet. I busted my shin right on the doorway between and I was just gushing out blood. I had to call my sister to come help fetch the frog. I was like 32 years old, 33 maybe. And I had to call my older sister, who's like a foot shorter than me.
I thought you were like 7 or something when this happened.
No, I was 33. I'm petrified of frogs. And gushing blood, I was crawling to see where the frog went, and I was able to hit it with a broom, but it didn't die. And I called my older sister to come get the frog out of the house, and then she had to drive me to the hospital because of the blood.
Wow. Look, Jeff spit on the homeless people.
Well, I do that all the time.
What is going on over there,
but that's not my fault. I spit a lot, and there's homeless people everywhere you spit.
Jeff spit on the homeless people.
All right, so guys, okay, let's get our guesses. Don't say anything, Jeff. So we got the match game, face goes through the windshield, or frog attack. Mike, what is your guess?
Match game.
Match game.
Match game, Zeus?
Yeah.
Okay. Des.
I'm gonna go with the frog attack.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Frog attack. So me and Des, frog attack in the shower. Mike and Zeus, match game.
Oh,
Jeff,
man.
What is the truth?
The truth is, The frog attack was all true except for the hospital. The truth was my face went through the windshield.
Wow.
Wait a minute.
I think he just
You didn't even mention
Jeff,
hospital in the story.
I did in the intro. I said a frog attack led to me needing to
And
go
I
to the
was
hospital.
hospitalized.
Here's
Jeff,
the
you
boat
look
windshield that my face went through. Can
Okay,
you see
so
the
there
broken
was a
glass
frog
there?
in the shower, the whole thing, that all happened.
Except
you
for
look
the
great.
gushing blood and the needing to go to the hospital. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
come
but
on.
that's great. You
All right.
you persevere.
I added a little detail.
You guys are like,
The match
it's
game
all
was
true,
complete.
but the shirt was brown, not blue.
No. The match
Therefore, it's
game, though,
false.
in my defense, the
Come
match
on.
game was 100% bullshit. That was a podcast guest of mine. I just stole his story.
I can tell that was kind of fall when he's like, oh well, we used to watch it all the time. So, oh man, so you get so the face in the windshield was
He is
true.
tied.
Yes.
No, you get all 4 points then.
I can send you a picture
Wait a minute.
of this windshield.
3, 4.
It's awesome. Yeah,
Ladies
that's
and gentlemen,
amazing.
Jeff is
won.
the winner with 11 points. Tom has 10. Mike has 8. Des 6. Zeus 3. Jeff Macolino.
The first.
It's not the match
annual-
game, but you won. You won. So
I was never on the match game, so I was gonna say I lost.
wow, you came in here last
Congratulations.
minute with no stories, just made them up on the fly.
Well, I
Look
had
in
to
your
mix them
trophy.
all in a little bit of truth.
Look in your mail. You will be receiving a
A
free
$30 Uber Eats card.
or Friends of Zeus podcast T-shirt.
Zeus will have to send that one.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll take either one as the prize.
I'll send you mine.
That's awesome. Well,
Oh, yeah.
thanks, guys.
It's a little tight. I put it on. Look, Zeus gave me a Friends of Zeus podcast T-shirt. I put it on, and I look like a tube salami. Like,
Did it look like a schmedium?
oh, it was way too small. Like it was like if you ever want to see your favorite Friends of Zeus, Michael, in a skin tight, like where nothing was left to the imagination.
Why? What size did he send you?
It was an extra large.
I think it was an extra large. But I'm an extra Michael.
He's a double XL.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thanks for joining us, Jeff. That was awesome.
Thank
Congratulations.
Yeah, maybe me being the least known of you was actually an advantage because I did get the 8 points.
Jeff, you're the most known.
Yeah, you're probably the most known.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean amongst us, but maybe I just showed off my acting ability with the lying. I don't know.
I can't
Yeah,
wait
there
to
you
see
go.
this in all seriousness. Like, can you say what it is, what the name is again, so we can look it up? And
It's What Women Want. He's playing with Mel
What?
Gibson.
what?
No, women want everything.
What?
There's a Facebook page you can.
But what's it
Fine.
called?
Women Want Everything.
Women want everything.
Women want everything. Okay.
And right before we came on, I got an email getting cast in a TV episode, but I can't talk about that until it's actually announced. So
And also, Mike
If
is planning a
anything-
special event at his theater, and he's going to escort you to dinner. And Drew Barrymore is going to be
with
there.
Zuzu, Drew Barrymore, and Jodie Foster.
Jeff, if you ever need anyone that looks similar to this, just let me know. All right.
I'll
And next
keep that in
week,
He's trying to
Oh,
cast
That's
himself.
going to be when we do our podcast movie.
and next
Podcast
Oh
movie.
yeah, I think
And
there's
next-
something there.
There is.
Any
But
last
Jack
words?
would say what right about now?
Jack would say, "Get the fuck off."
I
the
think we've been
internet."
on a little long.
All right, boys.